YouTube stream has started. The Facebook one will go live. Whoa, it's about a minute now. "45 seconds. I'm gonna start this at about 10 seconds.
You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. You may throw your block and hide your hand, working in the dark against your fellow man. But as sure as God made black and white, what's done in the dark will be brought to the light. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Go and tell that long-tongued liar, go and tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell them the God's gonna cut you down, tell them the God's gonna cut you down. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down, sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Yo, you can never touch this, it's just too much substance. I broke through the chains, did away with the cufflinks. You can make a scene, but to me, it's nothing. You never match what a breakthrough in fashion. I'll re-stitch the fabric and bring it back surely. Seen you on the shore, you repping the wrong jersey. Nah, I mean, they on the wrong team. Paper chaser, screaming out cream. Lord deliver us, you know I ain't giving up. They just wanna live it up on scratch-offs and 50 bucks. Ready to the silly luck, I gotta keep it 100. Run it, clean how I done it, get it. I operate like City Hall, gotta put my city on. Didn't fit the first time, but I've been growing into it. They all getting giddy gone, it's going to say I pity y'all. I'm too busy nodding, rather not respond to kitty calls. Y'all can get your quickie on, watch what you slipping on. Girl, what you sipping on, dog, what you barking about. I'd rather be penniless, making plenty sense. You living in a glass house, high rent, solo. I do it on my own, no YOLO. I never get cut, Kodo, for sure though. Pardon me, my God, I'm calling on them all. Can't stall, I gotta tell them all. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. 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 Go and tell that long-tongued liar, go and tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell them the God's gonna cut you down, tell them the God's gonna cut you down.
Peace.
Peace.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from MJ's Walker B's apartment, this is the Moon Club podcast with AJ and MJ. The Moon Club will talk about anything other than moon, no subject, whatever. Be taboo. This episode of the Moon Club podcast, number 191, is brought to you by Realtor MJ Adderman, Luminary Normal's premier realtor for the Jewett-owned selling team at Remax Rising. And I want to be your realtor, and I will out-hustle everybody all day, every day, and double up on something to prove it. What's the state of the moon?
Well, this is what I say, run lots of dreams until the studio gets fixed. Good evening, you lovely lunatics. Currently, it's 6:03 p.m. We're getting it on the quicker. The full moon will come up.
And what is the full moon tonight?
This is what is it they call it, the full pink moon?
Yeah,
It's the biggest moon of the year.
we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah,
It's not really going to be pink.
no, it's just when the pink flowers come out.
Before we get it started, I want to say our usual co-host Steve Trainer, and I want to ask everybody to send out whatever you want to send out. If it's prayers, fine. If it's thoughts, whatever. I'm not a prayer person myself, but I do believe that it helps to send in these good vibes or something in one person. And we're asking that for his mother Linda because she was in a car accident and apparently is in the hospital and not doing well. And Steve can't even go see her because of the coronavirus. So Steve's a wreck right now. He's not going to be joining us. out the thoughts, send out the prayers,
Positive
send out the good vibes. Like, let's tap into that collective unconscious, and let's see if we can help her make a full recovery. And Steve, love you, brother.
But anyway, the full moon comes up at 7:09 p.m. It goes down at 7:06 a.m. So we get a full 12 hours of this beautiful moon. Like I said, it's full. It's 100% illuminated. It's 363,594,000 kilometers away from us. It's 15 days old, and it is in the sign of Libra.
It's just a biscuit away.
Yeah, if you're here at Bloomington Normal, it'll be coming up in about an hour.
And that is the biggest full moon of the year, you say?
Yeah.
All right. So you got until 7 o'clock. It doesn't come up until after the podcast. So people, sit back, relax,
Get your
enjoy
ass out there and
the
see
Moon
that
Club
fucking
podcast.
moon. Yeah.
But after the podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Weekly Jason Silva is cinema is a form of shamanism. And this is Jason Silva dropping knowledge like only Jason Silva can.
Insightful moment of the day, courtesy of a conversation with my friend Elizabeth. So this is great. We should share this with the world. So we were just talking about entrancement, like aesthetic entrancement, when you succumb to a beautiful moment, when you're lost on a walk in the woods, when you're experiencing forest bathing, when you're in an area that is congruent with appreciation of beauty, a place that is aesthetically relevant and novel. When you're in these moments, there is a desire for agency. There's a desire to be a co-participant in the creation of beauty. There's a desire, in a way, to be an alchemist, to be a magician, to be a shaman, to be a dream weaver. An example of that would be to want to add a soundtrack to this moment, to play a song during this moment, to add a musical score that enhances the power and the melodic intensity and the subjective intensity of this circumstance. So then we started thinking, well, isn't that what filmmakers do, right? When a director is sitting in the editing room and he's setting the movie to a particular soundtrack, he's essentially a shaman, right? Filmmaking, directors are forms of, I would say that filmmaking is a form of shamanism, and directors are dream weavers. Directors are literally dream weavers. I'm imagining a director in the editing room framing a shot and saying, play this song at this moment as the sun starts to shine and the character experiences ecstatic illumination. And then that spills through the screen and onto the viewer. And then if the viewer of the film has an ecstatic experience, has an experience of illumination when they watch the film, then the director gets the satisfaction, the existential realization that he is a dream weaver, that he is a shaman, that filmmaking is a form of shamanism, and again, the director is the dream weaver. And I think that for me, when I make these videos, even capturing this moment, I'm trying to convey the subjective aesthetic intensity of this container that we're creating. The container, of course, of two cool friends hanging out in nature, right? So you have this container, you have this moment, I'm conveying how it feels, and then I would add music to it later. And then I would lay images on the screen that are metaphorically congruent with the stream of consciousness that's coming out of my mind. And so then people have an experience afterwards that is not just what we're going through, but it's what we're going through feels like from within, enhanced by music and imagery. This is the goal of the artist, to step into the new space, the unknown, take that all in, let it reverberate through his consciousness, decide how he can tweak it, enhance it, make it better, and then bring that back, and then capture that. So, thought of the day, cinema is a form of shamanism, right? Filmmaking is shamanism, and the director is a dream weaver.
Digital shamanism.
Thank you for
I think that
the list.
what Jason Silva does a lot, and I think he was riffing most of that, and I think he'll actually work on it and make it better.
Yeah.
But the idea I do like a filmmaker being a shaman.
Yeah.
I think it seems to me like it wasn't a fully formed thought, though, to me.
Yeah.
But hey, it's still Jason Silva, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we told you earlier that it is the super pink moon tonight, and how to see tonight's pink supermoon. You can call it a super pink moon, or you can call it a pink supermoon. It doesn't matter. You can go either way with it, people.
Right.
Let's not get caught on semantics here. Largest full moon of 2020. Let me put on my other set of eyes here. Tonight's pink moon must have not gotten the memo about social distancing. The moon will be closest to the Earth than any other day of the year, making it the largest full moon of 2020. Granted, the moon is more than a prerequisite 6 feet, 1.8 meters away from the closest celestial body during the COVID-19 pandemic. Earlier, April 7th at 2:08 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the moon was about 221,772 miles away from the Earth, the closest it will be all year, a live science sister site. according to space.com, sorry, a live sister science site. You can see this moon rise in the sky in the evening. In New York, that happens at 7:05 p.m. local time, but the moon won't appear until 10:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, according to NASA. If you miss it, fret not. The moon will appear full on Wednesday night as well.
It'll be 99% illuminated tomorrow.
Yeah.
What's up, Marcus Lamb? What's
we
up,
almost
Steve Trainer?
didn't talk about the full moon tonight. That one almost got biased, and that would have been a travesty since we are the Moon Club podcast.
We would have caught it at the State of the Moon.
I guess we would have, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
So I've got this video, and it's 2 minutes and 45 seconds long, and it explains what the pink supermoon moon is. So should we do that for the lunatics?
Yeah.
All right.
What is a pink supermoon? Does it seem like moon names are becoming more complex? A pink supermoon, or super pink moon, occurs on Tuesday, April 7th, but the super and pink parts occur at slightly different times. Let me explain. First, the moon isn't really going to look pink.
What?
Traditionally, any full moon that occurred in April was called a pink moon because it marked the blooming of moss pink, a wildflower that's native to the eastern US.
Wow.
As for supermoon, the astronomical term is perigee syzygy of the Earth-Moon-Sun system. Now that's a mouthful. Syzygy happens when 3 or more celestial bodies are aligned in a straight line.
Syzygy?
Whenever the Earth, Moon, and Sun line up, it is either a new moon or a full moon.
It's just a form
The
of
full
scissor.
moon version of syzygy is also called opposition because the moon is directly opposite the sun as viewed from Earth. As for perigee, that's when the moon comes closest to Earth in its slightly elliptical orbit around the Earth. Apogee is when the moon is furthest from Earth. The moon can reach perigee or apogee in any of its phases. When the moon is full, at or close to perigee, we call it a supermoon, or perigee syzygy. On April 7th, perigee occurs just over 8 hours before syzygy, and so we get a pink supermoon. Let's go to the Giovanni Open
I
Deck
think that's enough of
Observatory.
that.
Here at
That
Lowell
was good
Observatory.
information, though.
Yeah.
Now, the lunatics understand why it is called a pink supermoon. It's
Yeah.
not really going to be pink,
No.
but it is going to be super,
Yeah.
and it's going to be coming up right after we end the podcast. So I encourage the lunatics to get out there and see it.
Right. Me too.
Go out and see the moon.
Get your ass out there.
This would be a good time to dive in why we actually call this the Moon Club podcast and why we're like into the moon so much.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell that story?
Well, first of all, you were born on a solar eclipse.
A full
Solar eclipse.
solar eclipse,
Which it would have been a full moon.
which I like to tell people when I was born, light turned to darkness.
Right.
And I can make that claim. I
Yeah.
can make that claim.
And so in the next solar eclipse, I think we went and saw in Chester, Illinois, right? And that would have been. Was there one in between there?
Wait, between my birthday
Yeah.
and well, I don't know what there's more eclipses. Are you talking about the path of totality or what are you talking
Yeah, the
about?
solar eclipse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
especially
that was in 2017 already. That's
Yeah.
coming up on 3 years ago.
wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah,
That's it was our 52nd and a half episode.
something like that. Like we went and got into the path of totality, and I'd always heard people say like if you haven't experienced a full moon or a total eclipse, right?
In the path
Then
of
you don't
totality.
really get it.
Right.
And I thought that was bullshit right up until light turned to darkness, like within 2 seconds.
Right.
I was
Well,
like,
all of
"Holy
a sudden,
shit."
there was stars out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's episode 52.5. If you want to go back and
52.5.
look at it, yeah.
Yeah. But to bring that back, there is another path of totality coming into southern Illinois in 2024.
I think 2024. Yeah.
Yeah, I think April, something like
And
that. Anyway,
we're already planning a party for that.
already planning a party. Doug Curry's going to be involved. He wants to get into a path. I don't think he's ever been in a path of totality. He
Yeah.
said so.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. I think.
Yeah, it's amazing. And another reason why that we call it the Moon Club is because of our mother.
Yes, that's what I was.
Yeah.
That's where I was hoping you would go with it.
Yeah.
So, we would get while we were, late teens, early 20s. We'd be working, making pizzas at Papa John's or wherever it was, and then we get this. Hey, your mom's on the phone.
Yeah.
And hey, what's up, mom? Hey, I just want to let you know you should go look at the moon.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, shut up, click.
No, I wouldn't. I always would be like,
Okay, well I wouldn't either. But
Or the phone girls would be like, your mom called, she wants you to go out and look at the moon.
So it was kind of like a joke at that point, but after she passed in 2003, we kind of went, man, I just want one more phone call.
One more phone call
just
from
telling
Mom.
me to go look at the fucking moon for Christ's sake. Right? So be careful what you wish for, because you're like, I wish my mom wouldn't call me at work and tell me that. Well, actually, no, I kind of wish she would now.
Yeah, and you know what? She's reaching out to me right now, and she wants you to go out and look at the moon tonight.
Okay, done. I'll do that, Mom.
Yeah.
All right, so I hate doing a lot of coronavirus talk, but there's been so much misinformation and stuff out there. I want to try to put out some good information. And my boy, Dr. Drew Pinsky, has been wrong at every turn on this. And
Is his first name David Drew Pinsky? Is that his full name?
That's what it says. I didn't know that. Well, no. I don't know why it says that. David Drew Pinsky. I think maybe it's supposed to say Dr. Drew Pinsky, but I don't know. Maybe
Of course, he rose to fame and fortune through the Pennzoil Penske racing team.
Explain that. I don't know about that.
I'm just making it up.
Okay. You go. Because they had the Pennzoil Penske Mini Indy car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you leave the humor to me?
How much do you think
First of
Dr. Drew is worth?
It's worth a lot.
I would say 20
I know he
million.
did Celebrity Rehab. I got to know him through Loveline and through the Adam and Dr. Drew, and I don't want to shit on Dr. Drew too much, but the man fucked up at every turn.
Yeah.
And I have proof right here. And notice the dates on when he's saying this stuff. So here we go. He's currently trying to get all these videos taken off the internet, so I want to put it out.
Predicted from the beginning that this is going to be worse than the flu.
Way less virulent than the flu,
February
so it's a
4th.
reminder that you're more likely to die of influenza, so go ahead and get your flu shots.
Mild, doesn't hurt anybody. That should be the headline. Way less serious than influenza. That's the headline.
You know what the 2% lethality thing is you have there? You're talking about the coronavirus thing. It's less than 2%. It's like 0.02%. Less dangerous than influenza. Less dangerous than influenza. Your probability of dying of coronavirus much higher being hit by an asteroid, I would say.
The flu virus in this country is vastly more consequential, and nobody is talking about
This corona thing doesn't worry me
it.
at all.
It is a press-induced panic. I am angry about it. It is the flu.
If you're under 65 and you get it, you're going to have the flu, and you're going to be fine.
Oh my
It's
God.
going to be just like the flu. It's going to be almost identical. I can see it coming.
God.
The Americans in 2020 panic is to hoard toilet paper, you know,
Right.
and
And toilet paper.
antibacterial gel.
Right. In response to the flu. Right.
It's a flu, and it's a different flu. And if you notice, it's Corona 19, which means there's at least been 18 of these other ones.
Oh yeah. Go to the movies.
Why do you think, like, the NBA now discussing the idea of playing without fans? And UCLA today announcing that their sports are going to be without fans.
I think that's a mistake. Should the Olympics be canceled? That's funny.
Have you noticed less people out on the streets?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, less people in the trains, for sure. Well, they told them, de Blasio told them not to ride the trains. And so they're not riding the trains. And so I am. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I bet he didn't even stop going asking.
Say we do have 100,000 deaths in the country.
What do you think?
Remember, we get 30,000 deaths from the flu. This is going to be, we predicted from the beginning that this is going to be worse than the
What are
flu.
we up to, like,
So we'd have to at
11,000
least have
numbers? You hear that,
30,000
though?
deaths
That's a
for it to be
straight-out
worse.
lie.
This is going to be worse than the flu. So we'd have to at least have 30,000 deaths for it to be worse than the flu.
But do we wait till 20,000 people die and then start panicking?
It's not going to happen.
Okay.
That's the point. It's not going to
Did you
happen.
hear that though? He said, I predicted from the beginning it was going to be worse than the flu.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Right. He said, yeah.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
And, like I said, I don't hate Dr. Drew, but I think he owes the public an apology.
Right.
Just say I was wrong, man.
I was wrong.
I was wrong.
Hey,
I'm not
mad at him.
Yeah, just say it, man. I was
Yeah.
wrong. Stop trying to get people to pull down videos of you.
Trying to hack the internet of you being wrong.
Yeah. Anyway.
Just don't say you're sorry.
Well, I think in
Just
this
say I
case
was
he
wrong.
has to.
You think so?
He was wrong. Yeah. I mean, you heard all that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my biggest problem with it isn't that he was wrong, is that he was grandstanding. Like, he was going on all of these shows saying, oh, you know, like, this, they're trying to scare the public, they're trying to do that. He would get, like, his Dr. Drew mad, like, oh, I'm mad at this, I'm mad. I'm like, come on, man, you were grandstanding and you were doing it for ratings and...
Right. And you were
you
wrong.
fucked up. You fucked up, man. You put out misinformation.
You fucking
and look, there were a lot of people saying this. He's not the only one. There were a lot of people saying that this wasn't going to be any worse than the regular flu. I might have even said it because I heard him say it, but I'm not a fucking medical professional now either, am I?
What's up? Steve Trainer says, true dat. I love Pink, and then he said, I love you, Mom. So, obviously, Steve's thinking about his mom. I think we all are right now.
Yep. Mindy Sue says, Trump spit a lot of misinformation too, but we all knew that. Our president never apologized, so why should Drew? I think that's because I expect more out of Dr. Drew.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because I would say Dr. Drew is a guy that has a lot of class, and Trump just doesn't have any of that. I mean, he's our president, commander-in-chief. He just doesn't have any, any class.
All right.
Maybe he's the right guy for the job, though.
All right. And the next couple videos I have are, we'll call them public service announcements for the Moon Club podcast because there is so much misinformation out there right now.
Are we talking masks now?
I think it's the masks one. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. All right, so I found this video on YouTube, and he's talking about the masks and the different kinds of masks and how, like, a lot of things that you do with your mask can pretty much just make everything, like, you're not even exposed. It's just as bad as not wearing a mask anyway. So, and this guy is very articulate. He is a Gupta. It's not Sanjay. I don't know which one he is, but very articulate, and he just breaks everything down, and it's very informative. So I want to put it out there and let the Moon Club podcast people watch. Here we go.
Let's start with how a mask might help. So most importantly, you might actually have the coronavirus and not even know it, in which case wearing a mask will actually protect other people from catching it from you by blocking your infected droplets coming out of your mouth and nose. The mask might also protect you from other people's droplets, and it might also prevent you from touching your mouth and nose with your hands, which could easily have become contaminated by touching any infected surface. But there are pitfalls. So the mask doesn't cover your eyes, where the coronavirus can also get in, and a lot of people don't use these masks properly. So the whole idea is that if the mask is blocking those infected droplets, then the coronavirus is sitting on the surface of the mask. So you've got to wash your hands before you put it on, you've got to wash your hands after you take it off, and you never touch the surface, which means doing things like this defeats the purpose. So what's the right type of mask? So this is an N95 mask. It's designed to block microparticles created during certain medical procedures. It's meant to be airtight, which means it has to be fitted to each person's face. It gets hot and sweaty, it can leave bruises. So if you're not a healthcare worker, you really shouldn't be wearing this kind of mask. This is a surgical mask. So this is designed to block those droplets, and that's exactly what we want. This is a bandana. So this and other types of cloth masks will probably reduce transmission of your own droplets to others, but they're not designed to block other people's droplets. So if you use them, you still have to try to maintain that physical distance. So what should you do? Well, if you're sick, stay home and wear a mask to protect others around you. If you're not sick, I would say it depends. Ideally, don't leave your house, in which case you won't need a mask. If you do leave your house, try to stay 6 feet away from anyone else, in which case you also don't need a mask. But if you can't do either of those things, I think wearing a mask properly will reduce the chances of coronavirus transmission. So if you've got a medical grade mask, you can use it. If you don't have a mask and you want to get one, buy a cloth mask. But either way, you've got to use the mask properly, which means don't assume you're invincible, don't stop washing your hands, don't stop trying to physically distance, and always handle the mask as if it's contaminated with the coronavirus. Finally, don't forget that hospitals are running low on masks right now. So if you've got a supply of unused medical masks, ask your doctor how you can get those back into the healthcare system, because your providers desperately need them right now.
All right, so I thought that was very good information. He broke everything down very well. And speaking of misinformation, like, even the CDC put out misinformation when they were saying wearing a mask won't help stop. And this was like, I don't know, when did we get locked down? It was the 17th? Was it St. Patrick's Day? Is that when everything started going sideways? Anyway, it's hard to remember now, isn't it? Like, is it 3 weeks? 4? What is it? How long?
Yeah.
But anyway, they started saying, like, people are being irresponsible wearing masks. Like, it's not going to help spread it. And then, like, 2 weeks later, they come back and say, oh, yeah, it can help.
Yeah.
Like, of course it can help. If you're coughing all over somebody,
yeah,
of course it can help.
Yeah.
Like, that was irresponsible for them to say that shit.
Right. And no more spitting in people's mouths.
Yeah. And by the way, these are habits that we have, right?
Right.
Stuff like that, touching your face.
Yeah, touching. I guess you touch your face like on the average like 2 times every 10 minutes or something.
Even the lady from the CDC who was given the press conference talking about not touching her face. Did you see what she did?
Touch your face like 7
Touched her
times.
face, licked her fingers, turned the page, like,
Yeah.
and you know, I'm not shitting on her. Like,
Right.
this is a new normal for all of us.
Yeah.
But it is hard, and we have to be conscious of that.
Yeah.
Like, the more you think about not touching your face, don't you have an itch? You're like, oh shit, there's a fucking itch on my face.
If I'm making somebody's pizza and I know they're looking at me, my nose will instantly start itching.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Right. You can't touch your face. What's wrong with you?
Right.
All right. The next PSA, the next video is
Steve Trainer says, I heard a ball gag works as well. So if just to be safe.
Why am I not getting that?
I'll
figure that out in a minute.
You can borrow mine. I've got an extra one.
Huh?
Just spray it with some Lysol. It'll be fine.
This is a medical professional talking about when you need to go to the ER, because a lot of people are showing up at the ER, they're not infected, but that's the worst place to be, and a lot of people are getting infected by going there.
Right.
So, again, PSA for the Moon Club podcast in these trying times.
That is the thing that I think the public needs to understand is the goal of flattening the curve. We may not save lives in the immediate, but the longer you have in your hospital to take care of a patient, and the more you're not overwhelmed, the better chances you have of saving lives. I mean, that is the whole point of this. I think people don't understand it. This isn't going to cure the disease. This just buys you time in your hospital.
Correct. And, I'm often asked, what can we do to help the staff in the emergency room? And there are a few things. I mean, we've heard about the distancing. We've heard about washing your hands. And the other thing is basically knowing when to come to the emergency room. Remember, at this time, at the date of this recording, there is no treatment for this virus that has been proven. There is no vaccine. So essentially, you want to come to the emergency room if there's something we can do to help you. You may have a fever. You can stay at home for that. You may feel really miserable. Try to gut that out at home. But what we can do for you here is, if you're really struggling to breathe a lot, we can give you oxygen. And in worst case situations, we can put you on a ventilator. So a lot of it's just knowing when to come in and when not to come in, because people are scared and people are afraid. So again,
I'll tell you what's
your immune system.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC.
Right,
Thanks for watching
again,
MSNBC
PSA,
on YouTube.
These are just things that I think people should know. Not typical Moon Club podcast fodder, but you know what? These are different times we're living in.
Yeah, it was totally different 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I'll have to go outside and just look up and not see any air traffic whatsoever.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
My buddy
It's
Justin
quiet.
was talking about that today. Like we went riding our bikes and we social distance, we kept apart. But he was like, yeah, like yesterday, I went out and I heard he's like, he didn't know what it was, but it was an airplane. He's like, oh, I haven't heard an airplane in a couple weeks. Like it just seemed weird, right?
Probably National Guard or something, huh?
Yeah, it was something. It wasn't a commercial jet.
Yeah.
And nobody's traveling right now, but. For me, like I knew shit was serious when I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast with Michael Osterholm, I think is his name. If I got the name right, I apologize. But like, if you listen to that, he's an infectious disease expert.
Yeah.
I'm like, of course they can't stop it.
Yeah.
Like we knew a long time ago that you could have symptoms you could be contagious for up to 5 days before you had symptoms. So right there, that's a problem because that makes it.
It's the perfect biological weapon.
Yeah. I mean, there's something called a recidivative value, which is an R value, which means basically how many people will one person infect on average.
Right.
And the flu, I think, is between 1 and 2. So that is, that's a curve going up because it's more than 1.
Yeah.
This one is between 2 and 4. They don't even know yet. But because you can have no symptoms, you can be asymptomatic and still be contagious for 5 days, you can't stop it.
It's exponential.
It is.
Yeah.
Recidivative value between 2 and 4, and I'd lean more towards the 4.
Yeah.
And it's a problem.
Yeah.
They say there's been viruses that are more recidivative, that have higher R value, and there have been viruses that are more detrimental, can cause more death or bad health, whatever. But there's never been one that has as high of both.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But Dr. Trubinski knew. It wasn't gonna be a problem.
Didn't know, knew.
I don't know. I'll quit shitting on
Gotta
it.
get.
Boom, boom, pow.
Boom, boom, boom.
Justin Trudeau misspoke, and he's getting shit on by a lot of people. Justin Trudeau is the Prime Minister of Canada, by the way, if you didn't know. I mean, not you, of course, you knew.
Handsome Justin?
Yeah. Let's see what Justin Trudeau said.
And his beautiful wife?
Why he's taking so much crap.
Did he and his wife both test positive?
I'm not sure about that.
Dude,
you might be thinking about Tom
You know
Hanks.
what? I don't know if I saw this on a magazine or if I dreamt it, but is Diana's oldest son, is he the King of England now? And how could that have slipped by?
I don't think so.
I think Charles is the what's the oldest son of Diana?
Didn't I tell you to never ask me a question on
That
a
you
podcast?
didn't know the
I
answer to.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's see what Justin Trudeau said. This video literally just changed. It went to a Lego version of the same press conference while I was waiting. Let me mute that for a minute.
You know, I think I was at the store at Joel Esco and I saw that William and what's her name are the king and queen of France or England now.
Not Meghan Markle.
For people to stay home.
No,
and Prince Harry.
If they do have to go
Kate.
out, they need
Well,
to
hold on.
keep
We
2
can figure
meters
that out
apart
when this is
and
over.
look to go out as normally as possible. We need to wash our hands regularly. We need to cough into our elbows. These are the things that we know will slow and arrest the spread of this disease. Country.
He's a good prime minister.
My understanding of what Dr. Tam explained yesterday
Dude, have you seen,
is that
Where's Waldo,
if people
the
want
Black
to wear a
Mirror, where
mask,
the
that
prime minister has, or
is
like-
okay.
That was the
It
first Black Mirror,
protects
wasn't it?
I think so.
Others more than it protects you, because it prevents you from breathing or speaking moistly on them. Oh, what a terrible image. But
So he acknowledged it. And that's what he's getting so much shit at for, because he said speaking moistly. All right, it's not the best way to put it.
And then you said that's why he's getting so much spit at, or
yeah,
you misspoke there too.
Who is the most moist talker that we know that used to work at Papa John's that you couldn't stand like within 5 feet of?
Who was it?
You know. Terry
Kerrigan?
Kerrigan?
Oh, Terry Kerrigan? Yeah. Sweetheart.
Oh yeah, great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Dude, you ever noticed if you ever bought food around him, he'd have to have it.
Yeah.
He'd go instantly go out and get his own.
Yeah.
Of the same food you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
cute.
Famous for if he owed you money, not wanting to pay. Like he was always gonna pay you. Like he's not that kind of guy, but he's like, I don't know, man. Like, you know.
I don't know if there was ever a situation when Terry Kerrigan owed me money.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. This is so Terry Kerrigan is the guy that famously sat in the back of my GMC Jimmy.
I want to see some dick.
And uttered the phrase. And we won't go into that whole story, but
loves the dick.
Did we get kicked off?
Loves the cock. No, we're still going.
Are we?
Yeah. Oh wait, maybe we froze up.
I think we froze up
because you're moving a lot slower. We're gonna have to get a better platform.
It's a goddamn shame.
Justin Trudeau's on the screen though that I'm looking at though, so it's exactly where we're at right now.
All right, well, let's keep going.
Well, can we restart it or what?
Well, I thought you said it was still going.
No, it's frozen.
Oh, okay. Error loading. Let's see if we restart it.
Yeah, we still got another half an hour on this bitch.
Trying to reconnect. We'll finish that one. And we'll just go live again. Ooh, this phone is hot.
We're still good on YouTube though, huh?
Yep. Create a post. Reconnecting. Round 2. Live video. Okay. Are we back up?
Let me see. Yes, we are. I think I'm still seeing Justin Trudeau up on the screen though. Anything?
So, Moon Club podcast number 191 for some reason froze up, so we're trying to get it restarted here. I think it's Facebook. Facebook's taking a long time to reload for me. How about you?
Dude, you know what I noticed on Pornhub? Dude, sometimes the videos won't even play. That's how fucking bogged up fucking Pornhub is right now. So I just go to an alternate, like X videos or something.
Yeah, I'm a YouPorn guy.
You're a YouPorn guy?
Yeah.
Dude, are they getting bogged down?
Mm-mm.
No?
Not on YouPorn.
Dude, I'll check out. Okay, what cam site do you look at? Free cams?
I don't look at any of that stuff, man.
I'm saying if hypothetically. Dude,
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
I was talking to a friend, and they were saying that, like, on Chatterbait.
Yeah.
Dude, sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's YouTube. I think it's Facebook. If I don't know.
Sometimes I'll see, like, some people have like 1,000 like people watching them or something, and like, dude, now I'm seeing numbers like 10,000, 20,000, like.
Yeah, I mean it's
huge.
people are at home.
Everybody's at home jerking
Everybody's
off.
on their internet, so that's why we're having internet problems right now. Yeah, Facebook won't reload on here. I'm gonna have to try to. We should be live. You know, trying to find out as quickly as possible so the Moon Club podcast people don't have to the lunatics don't have to sit here and listen to me like.
Oh, you're not?
Facebook is struggling.
Yeah, I think it's just because there's so many people on right now. I mean, obviously we can keep going live with the YouTube.
All right, so let's just keep going. So the last PSA I wanted to put out about this new normal that we have, this COVID-19 era. I saw a lot of funny memes online today about how I thought 2020 was going to go and how 2020 is actually going.
Right.
Pretty funny. Is what does, and we should have done this last week, but what does shelter in place
safe at home order?
Stay at home order.
What
You
does
may
it
have
mean?
heard
Because
these
people are-
terms recently. These social distancing measures are meant to prevent the spread of the coronavirus, but the terms may be confusing. Whether you're living under one of these orders now, or just wondering what life could be like if this happens to your state, here's what it all means. Both shelter in place and stay at home basically mean the same thing. Don't leave your home unless it's absolutely necessary. But it's also important to know that neither directive is a total lockdown. Essentially,
Maybe it's just the internet.
basically mean the same thing. Don't leave your home unless it's absolutely necessary. But it's also important to know that neither directive is a total lockdown. Essentially,
Yep. We might be dead in the water here. Oh yeah, I've got no internet connection right now.
Really? You get all my. Let me hop off all these porn channels.
All right, now we're connected.
In place, safe at home order.
stay at home order. You may have heard these terms recently. These social distancing measures are meant to prevent the spread of the coronavirus, but the terms may be confusing. Whether you're living under one of these orders now, or just wondering what life could be like if this happens to your state, here's what it all means. Both shelter in place and stay at home basically mean the same thing. Don't leave your home unless it's absolutely necessary. But it's also important to know that neither directive is a total lockdown. Essential businesses like doctor's offices and grocery stores still stay open. Essential employees like law enforcement and first responders can also still report to work. Restaurants and bars may be able to keep their kitchens running with takeout orders. You're also allowed to leave your house during one of these orders for necessary reasons like grocery shopping or going to the doctor's. Walking, hiking, and running are generally still allowed too, as long as you're staying at least 6 feet away from others. By abiding by the requirements and staying at home, we can all do our part to prevent the spread of the coronavirus.
9/11 took like what, one afternoon, and this is like slowly coming, like just kind of creeping upon us. And I think it's almost scarier.
I've been trying to think of a good analogy or a good, like, the coronavirus started out as a punchline and it ended up a clothesline or something. There's got to be something there. I don't know, but man, like, remember when you first started hearing about the coronavirus? Like, oh, okay, well,
Coronavirus.
You know, there's some
H1N1,
people dying in China.
Swine flu, whatever.
Hoof and mouth.
It's like every year we get a new one, and this one is just it was man-made, and it was made to kill a lot of people very efficiently.
Well, that's your speculation. I mean, you can't state that as fact.
I'm going on record.
Okay, you're going on record. This is actually, I believe, technically SARS-2, right?
Yeah, because it's it has something to do with respiration. And it attacks your respiration
it's
and your
definitely
heart.
A respiratory disease. Yeah.
And thank God, I feel great. I'm breathing good.
So SARS, I think, was in 2008 or 2009, right? The first version. And SARS is sudden acute respiratory syndrome, I believe.
Yeah.
And this
is like 2.0.
Yeah.
It's been re-engineered.
We forgot, man. We forgot. This shit has happened before. We just forget. Like H1N1, even going back, like to the 1890 flu. Like, we thought we were too safe.
The Spanish flu.
And the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
Montezuma's Revenge.
No, that's in the water, I think.
Oh, maybe. But we thought, or at least I thought, I'll put myself in that category. I thought this couldn't happen. But if you go and listen to like infectious disease experts like on Joe Rogan, like, oh yeah, this can happen, and it could happen a lot more now. Like, this virus might be with us for a while, and it might keep popping back up. And we forget, like, the measles might have killed as many as half the people that have ever lived.
Right. I think malaria kills millions every year.
I definitely meant malaria.
I
definitely meant
measles,
malaria, sorry. Because it's spread by mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So people were like looking at ways to, like, well, we should just wipe out all the mosquitoes. But wait a minute, you can't do that.
Yeah.
When we start fucking with nature, we forget, like, this is a very delicate balance. Like, this whole, the balance of nature, like.
It's like, okay, here's a good example. Wipe out all the mosquitoes. Bats eat their weight, I think, in mosquitoes every night. And 1 out of every 3 mammals on this earth is a bat.
Right, because there's so many different species of bats.
Yeah. There's just so many of them.
Right.
And you know what? We knock that out, and other things start to collapse.
And people get on their high horse. They get on their holy soapbox about, oh, those fucking dirty people in China were eating bats. Well, guess what? If there was no food, you would eat a fucking bat. You would fucking eat a bat.
I'd eat a fruit bat.
Yeah.
They're big. They're like flying foxes.
But it really didn't even come from people eating bats. They were, what were they? There was like a host animal.
Are you talking about ass to mouth?
No, there's a host animal.
Mandingo.
Called a pangolin.
Pangolin.
A pangolin, like the disease was transferred from a bat to a pangolin, and then somehow from the pangolin to the human. It's kind of like the mad cow disease, right?
Right, but I wouldn't blame penguins.
Do you know why they call it PMS, by the way?
No.
It's because the term mad cow disease was already taken.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good.
But I'm bummed.
Dropping like flies. Oh,
nobody's watching.
We're back on Facebook anyway.
Are we?
I think so. This will be one of those special episodes. No, I actually just started it over and started watching it.
Mindy says she's gonna come see me when I'm done.
Yeah?
Good for me.
She gonna give you mad cow disease?
Maybe. I'll ask her if she has any, if she's packing.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and try to finish this off as quick as well as we can, even though we were kind of derailed there. So I got this article, this Daily News article that says a Florida man and daughter were hit with a baseball bat after warning large groups about social distancing. That doesn't sound right. But hey, it's Florida, right?
You ever watch Dumb People Town? Or listen to it? It's the podcast.
Brothers?
With the, yeah.
Yeah. I like those guys.
It's like everything happens in Florida.
A little bit. A Florida woman and her 61-year-old father were hit in the head with a baseball bat after approaching a large group of college-age people and warning them about social distancing, authorities said Monday. The attack happened Saturday night on Wisteria Island, which is off Key West,
I know where that's at.
and left both victims with head injuries, the Monroe County Sheriff Office said in a news release. The 21-year-old woman told police she and her father were on a boat about 7:30 p.m. when they saw about 20 people drinking on the beach. Florida issued a stay-at-home order last week, so they're like 3 weeks behind. That includes a ban on gatherings of 10 people or more to slow the spread of a coronavirus in the state. The woman said she and her father confronted the group about social distancing and asked them to keep their noise down, but at least one assailant grabbed a baseball bat and struck both of them in the head. According to the sheriff's office, it was unclear how many people took part in the assault. The group immediately took off on 3 boats that were docked nearby, and no one has been arrested.
Wow.
So, you shouldn't be hitting people in the head with bats.
Especially when they're just trying to tell you to stay away from me. And then you hit them with the bat.
I'm trying to get an idea of how about this might have happened. I wonder if they like rolled up like holier than now. Hey, you guys shouldn't be collaborating around here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no excuse for
moral
hitting,
crusaders.
There's no excuse for hitting.
Yeah, you don't hit that
a lady
person.
and her father in the head with a bat.
Yeah.
But it's like that Bill Burr bit about.
It's like, don't say there's never a reason.
Right. Like, why did Chris Brown hit Rihanna? He's like, look, there's no reason for him to ever hit her. But I just want to know, what did she say right before he hit her? I fucked all your friends. Right?
Yeah.
Bill Burr's fucking great, man.
Yeah, but Rihanna's a fucking treasure to this fucking world.
She's adorable.
And I would beat, well, let's face it, Chris Brown could probably outdance me and beat me up at the same time.
Did you ever hear, who was it? Who's the guy, who's Django?
Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah. Anyway, the
kidding.
actor that plays Grammer that I love, and I can't believe I can't remember his name, but.
Are you talking about Country Grammer?
Huh?
Nelly? Are you talking about
No, Django Unchained. Who's the actor from Django Unchained?
He's got a girl's name. Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Of course.
So Jamie Foxx.
Academy Award winning Jamie Foxx
has a story about he was in a club and like he found out like this kid was like, everybody was saying this kid's the best dancer. He's like, no, fuck this, man. I'm gonna go fucking teach this guy a fucking lesson. And like, so he's out there like doing his thing and dancing, and like, I guess like Chris Brown like ran up and like jumped over like 4 or 5 people and then like did the splits in front of him. He's like, we're done here.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
Dude, I've heard you've seen Chris Brown dance, right? He's like better than like Michael Jackson.
Of course, I've seen Chris Brown dance.
Yeah,
it's almost like
triple threat.
Yeah,
he can
it's
sing,
almost
dance,
like society gives you a pass for beating on women, because every time you talk about Chris Brown, you're like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up what he did to Rihanna, but man, that guy can dance though, right?
Motherfucker can dance.
That guy can dance.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
It's like meeting O.J. Simpson. It's like, you know, he's a convicted killer. It's like, yeah, but he rushed for 50,000 yards his freshman year.
Yeah, that killer rushed for 50,000 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another genius Chappelle bit where he's like, at the beginning of the show, he's like, I met O.J. Simpson 4 times.
4 times.
And like in the special, he like rattled off 3, and they were like just scattered throughout the bit.
Yeah.
And then he left the stage, and then
And then
he came back and he's like, I forgot to tell you about the 4th time I met O.J. Simpson. And my favorite was, and I think this was the 2nd time, but he was at a show, and O.J. was with Nicole, and they came backstage afterwards,
Right.
and they're like,
Yeah.
man, we really love your show, and Nicole gave him a big hug and said, man, you're great, man, I fucking love your comedy, and he embraced her, and then he took her back, and he's like, bitch, you trying to get us both killed?
Yeah, that's horrible.
And then there was the one where he came back after the show and he was hanging out with all his friends, and like OJ sat and they talked for like 30 minutes, and then OJ left, and they all just look at each other like, that nigga did that shit.
Yeah, no shit he did. Dude,
and that's a quote. That's a quote. You
Did
can
you,
look it up.
have you been watching the Mike Tyson podcast where he interviewed Eminem, and I know I made you watch it pretty much.
Yeah, I did watch that.
But Mike Tyson, what an intellectual, like, humble guy after what he's been through. You know, he's Mike Tyson.
I don't think I would call Mike Tyson an intellectual. I would call him humble for sure.
Yeah.
But that podcast is good, and I think it's good, and I could be wrong about this, but I think it's good because I think he has other people there to help prod the conversation along, and then I think they edit it together to make it look like he's at whatever.
Good work.
He's
Good
still
work.
fucking Mike Tyson.
It's a good
Like, let's
podcast.
not take anything away from him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one with Eminem was pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I think you said you came away from that liking Mike Tyson more.
And Eminem less, yeah.
I don't. But why did you like Eminem less though?
It just seemed like he was sucking his dick.
Well, but here's the thing. I think that was genuine.
It was, because, I mean, he's Mike Tyson.
Yeah. So, yeah, I do hate, like, I think you're right. Like, when you layer praise on somebody, especially, like, and there's a lot of that on podcasts and stuff. But for me, when
Remember Jay
Eminem,
Marvin used to always say, don't suck up.
when Eminem was talking about how big of a fan he was, and he was, like, you know,
He was
fanboying
genuine.
out a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Yeah, because he actually told him, he's like, hey, it's like, if I get out of control, just, you know, it's, you know, I would bet that Mike Tyson is probably one of the most referenced terms in rapping history. You know what I'm saying? Just talking about Tyson. It's like, I don't, I remember fucking, of course, LL doing it. Fucking,
I'm like Tyson. I said I'm a soldier at war. I'm making sure you don't want to battle me no more. Got concrete rhymes, been rapping for 10 years, and even when I'm bragging, you know I'm sincere.
Echo. How many times has Mike Tyson been referenced in modern day hip hop? If that's gonna be a miracle if I make that work.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
We need to start this sideshow called Austin Talks to Echo.
Austin Talks to Echo and just gets nowhere.
Right.
Echo. Is it okay to go ass to mouth right now?
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
You know what? That's putting me in danger now. Because what if I was to go ass to mouth now?
So, Joe Buck has been doing this thing since the coronavirus started where he's asking like just everyday normal people to send in videos and then he will comment over it.
Yeah.
So this is one that he found or one that he agreed to do the commentary. Easy for me to say, right?
Oh, dude, we got to do Ozzy Man next. I think you'll like him more than Joe Buck.
Here's a young guy that's going to throw a basket. I don't even see the hoop. Throw a basketball from the netted off trampoline. Wow, what an arm, and he got it. To the delight of his dad, 8 seconds of glory as we watch again, and wow.
Dude, look up
These are
reviews.
small things that bring smiles.
All right.
While we're
8 seconds of glory is what I promised in the bed, though. Like on prom night,
8 seconds of glory?
I always promised 8 seconds of
And
glory.
dude, you know what? And then that's when you go 30 seconds and you triple your mark.
Yeah.
Almost quadruple it. Then you don't feel bad.
Hashtag 8 seconds of glory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got Ozzy Man?
Okay, how do you spell that?
O-Z-Z-Y, man, reviews. And do one on, just pick anyone.
Sure it's not O-Z-Z-I-E?
No, because he's from Australia. You ever notice something so much funnier when
it's in an Australian accent?
Yeah.
I have noticed that. I got Mega Cobble. Oh, that's 14 minutes. Here's one that's 2 minutes though. A Mountain Goat Takes Over. Is that a good one?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So you've seen a few of these?
I've seen a lot of them. I used to go and break it at Lock on Don't.
Alright everyone, the day has come. Humans have finally pissed off. Who knows where? Probably Mars or some shit. They're obsessed with every planet except their own. Anyway, let's take over town.
Yes, Sir Francis!
We're gonna go full Ragnar Lothbrok. I want trinkets, I want cups, I want crucifixes. Shiny, shiny fucking things. Follow me down this alleyway. Looks like we have a catering company on the left. We could get some silverware. Can we get a coffee machine?
machine? That's a great idea, Penny. I want Nescafe Dolce. Yeah, okay, Terry. There's got to be one of those around. And what about a sandwich grill? Absolutely. Also, try to think of non-food-based items to plunder. But we like food. We do. I'm thinking like a nice TV or something. Oh, yeah, like a 4K.
Now let's go break shit! What should we smash?
The cars?
Yeah! Vandalize the cars! Who wants to go first? Who?
I shall go first!
Yes!
No, I don't feel like it. I don't think anarchy is what mountain goats really stand for. I would agree with that, and what if the humans come back? Oh, yeah, but fuck them, you know? Like, fuck them. Is that a cop car? Yes. So all the humans left except the police? Looks like it. That's really controlling. I've dropped a whole bag of diamonds in this bush. Sir Francis said he wanted shiny stuff. I looted all the shiny stuff. Now I've dropped it in a bush. Don't worry about it. Eat the bush. No. You're gonna end up eating the diamonds. Well, then I will shit them out, give them a wash, problem solved. Off to the pub we go, off to the pub we go. We're a pack of mountain goats going to the pub. Off to the pub.
Gym fails are good, yeah. Gym fails are good, yeah. Alright, this is 4.5 minutes. Okay.
Okay, I'll be clear from the beginning that I do not wish to shame people for going to the gym. My intention is to learn from these videos because I need to start going. What we are witnessing here is that warming up is very important. I have some self-taught kung fu skills too, so I could do this one. Oh, now he's straight into it. You can't spend the whole day warming up, can you? Sooner or later, you have to pump the iron and pump it fucking hard. This looks like a great workout. You do need to know your limits at the gym. Of course you want to push the limits, we all do. But without the limits, you can end up crushed, squashed, stretched, and panicking. If you go too hard, too soon, the equipment will punish you for it. I personally do like to avoid going arse over tits, even though this fella seems pretty happy about it. I would argue working out is similar to love. Only fools rush in. Perhaps observe the people around you first. See what they do right, what they do wrong. Or maybe there's no right or wrong. You just be yourself. Don't be yourself too much. Not many people want to see that. But yeah, be yourself. Don't laugh at your friends. When you see them working hard and you laugh at them, you'll shatter their confidence. So do not laugh. Remember to have fun. If you want to be Spider-Man, then bloody well fucking practice being Spider-Man. He's a popular hero, and it's more expensive trying to be Iron Man. Yeah, just pretend the gym equipment is a building and you can climb it. If anyone says, hey, you're not using the machine properly, tell them to get fucked. They're probably jealous because you're a very good Spider-Man. And who knows, the original fitness routines you invent could turn out to be revolutionary. Everything looks stupid as fuck the first time it's done, but then it catches on and everyone starts doing it. Sometimes, maybe, or not. As long as you get the blood pumping in the heart, that's all that matters. That's mostly all that matters, really. I like the look of this routine. This seems like one that could help millions of wankers get very sexy beach bodies. Fit people always say there's no shortcuts to losing weight. This looks like a shortcut to me. I don't think I could do this one. I'm going to call it now. I'm going to cross this off. I also just don't like the idea of being able to smell my own asshole. It's not appealing. Nah. This is my jam. I need to watch elliptical videos. This is like one of those little rides at the shopping centre. You put $2 in, you go round and round. It's fun. Yeah, this is inspirational. I would like to get to the stage where I can bench press women. Maybe not like this guy, but more like the legend Eddie Hall. Slow, steady, composed. The Sheilas get to enjoy it. They know they're in safe hands. And you put them down nicely. Then everyone fucks off to the pub for a beer. Stay away from these bouncy balls. It never ends well. I have never seen a video where they make anyone healthy. I don't know. Maybe this dog has got it right. Just being at the gym is enough. You don't need to get all sweaty and tired. Being in that environment alone makes you feel good. The most difficult part is showing up. So if you can do that, you're gonna be
fucking golden, I reckon. Oi, I've never told you dickheads
Alright, that
this,
was
but
good.
if you want to join my channel and support it financially, you can just...
That's Ozzy Man, is that right?
Ozzy Man Reviews, yeah.
All right, so we've got 2 minutes. You got anything you want to go out on?
Are we still live?
We're still live on the YouTube
No
stream.
shit. I'm sitting here watching Cam Girls.
I've got Rob Gronkowski hosts his WrestleMania. We can skip that. Funny Coffin basically fails.
Yeah, that's good. That's fun.
NASA's. Oh, let's do. Okay, we'll end on that, but we'll do the this first because
the beautiful imagery.
Yeah.
And that's what we're all about. We're all about science and technology.
NASA's $1 billion spacecraft has taken mind-bending photos of Jupiter. And you know why girls go to Jupiter? To get more stupider. But anyway, these, like, I don't
Dude,
know if they
$1
can
billion,
see.
they got that thing for a steal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Look at these images, though.
Yeah.
Look at that. That looks like a Picasso painting.
It does, doesn't it? Or no, Picasso or Van Gogh?
Maybe a mix of the two.
Okay.
Stellar images. I don't know how well they'll come across on the live stream, but that's something we can check out.
It does look like an artist, like an artist rendition.
A lot of it look like paintings. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So funny
Oil.
coffin videos will go out on this.
Oil paintings.
And apparently this is a thing where there's these black dudes dancing with a coffin in between, and I keep thinking, oh, there's like the coffin's gonna fall out, but that's not the point.
Dude, you think that you're just doing that for just for effect? It's like, oh no, it's like, don't drop the coffin.
No, I think like a lot of these things start out like where somebody put that in there, and
So
then,
it's a meme.
People think it's funny, right? So they're like, oh well, I'll just keep that up.
It's a meme.
It's kind of like, remember the
Turn down for what? The boat video?
Oh, the Nolo Colanista. Remember everybody's doing that dance? Okay, well we'll do this first.
Gangnam Style was the big one.
This would be terrifying. That cat is over the door.
Not the Joe Exotic, wouldn't it? You just smack that cat in the nose and that.
Last time it ate. Oh, now you got a lot more work to do. Garbage, dude. Pretty sure this guy's not with us anymore. That poor girl's went to the last table.
Kids have different densities. That's that baby right there.
That was the baby being
So it's almost like the guys with the casket. That's almost like a course. That's the common thread that goes in between it. And dude, I don't think there was anybody in the box.
I don't know. So what was that? There was that dance that went around a few years ago, and it wasn't really a dance, but it was like they would show like a bunch of people, and there was like different versions that was made also cool.
The electric
like a bunch
slide?
of people, a bunch of people like in order, and they were like doing stuff, but there was like maybe like 2 people in the whole group like doing something else. and it would be like, Nolo Colanista. Oh, what is that? What?
I'm not sure.
That's not gonna happen.
Are we still live?
Our YouTube stream is still recording.
Okay.
But we can end. I'll find out what those videos were for next week, and we can play a few of them because they were fucking good. I actually had an idea of like trying to make a couple, but it never worked out. So, this will be Moon Club podcast number 191, and we'll be out
on the production end.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's not even. All right, YouTube version. We're done too.